shall bestow a gift on the child.
Before the sun sets on her 16th birthday, she will fall into a sleep like death.
Curious little beastie. Bring her to me.
I know you're there. Don't be afraid.
I am not afraid.
Then come out.
Then you'll be afraid.
All the other fairies fly. Why don't you?
I had wings once. They were strong, but they were stolen from me. There is evil in this world. Hatred and revenge.
Bring me her head.
I call on those who live in the shadows. Fight with me now!
Is it true? Are you Maleficent?
Well, one thing that's clear is that this is the role Angelina Jolie was clearly born to play, and the one I think she'll largely be remembered for. Just the other day I was talking about female action heroes in Hollywood and its bad habit of trying to make them sexy before they make them actual characters. And I had used Angelina Jolie as a prime example of that, as someone who is so concerned with coming across as sexy and voguing for the camera as an action hero, that while it's made her a household name, none of the characters she's portrayed have become have really stuck in the pop culture consciousness. But I think that this one is the right fit. I think that Maleficent just plays up all of Angelina Jolie's strengths, not only as an actress, but as a public persona. A tabloid staple. I think it plays into all of that beautifully. And I also have to say, once again, Angelina Jolie is the master of her own fate. She famously does not have a publicist. She orchestrates all of this publicity herself. And here she's an executive producer who really helped choose her costume, was really, heavily involved in everything that you're seeing here, was a guiding force in this film, to the point where it was even recently reported that she's the one who picked Lana Del Rey to do the Once Upon a Dream song, which I'll talk about momentarily, because I think that's the one thing so far, besides casting Angelina Jolie, that I think this movie has gotten 100% correct. But as for the rest of it, I'm really torn. And it's becoming difficult for me because I want to root for this movie, but I have a really big problem with it. But first, let's talk about what I like about the movie. And the reason I want to root for it is not only because I love seeing a star take control of their career like Angelina Jolie is doing here, but also because I really believe in the creative team. I love Linda Woolverton, the screenwriter who wrote Beauty and the Beast and Alice in Wonderland, the live-action version. I really am a fan of Robert Stromberg's work as a production designer, and I'm excited to see him make the leap to director, an unusual leap. I love seeing other, it's always usually a writer, or a DP that makes the jump. It's great to see somebody in a different field in Hollywood jump over into the director's chair. So I want to see all of this come together. So I'm very excited about this. And I do enjoy live action fairy tales. And as a standalone movie, this looks phenomenal. I love the special effects. I love the set design. Obviously Robert Stromberg, because he's in charge here. I think the special effects as we get closer to the release date are becoming more realized. Obviously, I guess they had work to do on them. I think Angelina Jolie looks and sounds great. I think it's fantastic to have this approach to a villain. We're clearly entering the era of the villain on the big screen. You've got Loki, who everyone loves. Heath Ledger's the Joker, captivated the entire world and really put that Batman trilogy on the map. That's what I think the big takeaway for most people. You have Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor coming up. Feora was a lot of people's favorite character in Man of Steel, mine certainly. And then you have Angelina Jolie coming here playing Maleficent as a very dynamic, fleshed out character, which is unusual for a villain. Usually when villains are introduced, they just chew the scenery and they're just born bad. But to give a character, gray areas, I think is very compelling and exciting, especially for Hollywood to do, which so often deals in stereotypes. And then I think what makes this movie even more unique and special is that it's a family movie. It's like the Santa Claus. I mean, it's so brightly lit, although I have to say, the film fan in me is disappointed in that, but that's not my big gripe with this movie. But it's very, it's very family friendly. So to explore a villain in that kind of setting in a movie that families will be going to, that small children will be going to, I think is very bold and, in that regard, sophisticated for Disney. So I applaud that as well. So I think that the film looks very good on its own. But that's the thing I want to underline here. It looks very good as a standalone film. And that's where my problem comes, because it's not a standalone film. It's an adaptation of Disney's animated Sleeping Beauty. Now, if this were the story of Maleficent from any other studio, I think that I would be perfectly fine and have no problems. Even though I feel that with those wings that they've introduced, that Maleficent is, stealing a little bit from Charlize Theron's evil queen in Snow White and the Huntsman. She already did the bird thing, to be fair, and did it quite well. But since this is building off of Disney's very famous and, well-known animated film, to the point where they released trailers intercutting the animated film in this movie, everything I see, every trailer that we get, gets further and further away from that original source material. When this movie was first announced, I thought we were going to get a live-action version of that movie that just kind of tilted the angle of perspective to go from Maleficent, and was basically just expanding that universe and showing it to you in live action. Ivan Earl's visual style was so iconic and is the calling card, the trademark of that movie. I see it not reflected anywhere in this film, which I find is an odd choice, not pay any homage to that. I think Maleficent, every time while they develop this character, I feel she gets further and further away from the Maleficent we all know, to the point where I really can't reconcile the two characters. I don't see Angelina Jolie with those wings and, kind of the, the African gazelle-like horns and that kind of look, and I don't look at her and go, oh, that's young Maleficent, or that's Maleficent before she went evil. I'm just like, that is an entirely different fairy. I think this whole idea of wings is very different. We're seeing a situation, a lot of people picked up on the fact that it seems that the crow is the one that turns into the dragon, and that crow seems to be the manservant who follows her around. So it's not Angelina Jolie turning into a dragon, which would I think address the point that her wings aren't dragon wings. A lot of people said, well, if she's going to have wings, shouldn't they be dragon wings? Which would have been very cool. I agree. And then also a lot of people are talking about the way the line of the curse has been changed. A sleep like death or something, or maybe a death like sleep. They're kind of watering it down a little bit. And I think that's because it is a family movie. And also, this hasn't been revealed in the trailer, but I saw a reveal of it in her Entertainment Weekly interview, Angelina Jolie, and she mentioned the fact that she will also be the one who gives the loophole for the curse. She says, woken up only by true love's kiss. That's her idea, because she thinks true love is such a joke that will never happen. But I really liked the original idea that while the good fairies couldn't undo Maleficent's curse because she was so powerful, they could lessen it. They could create that loophole. And I think that was an important thing. And to take that away from the fairies, I feel is a mistake. I also have some concern that it looks like King Stefan is the one who stole her wings. I hope that I'm wrong, because that would really blur the line between good and evil. That Aurora would be trapped between the feud of her father and Maleficent, and her father had wronged Maleficent, because she's talking a lot about revenge and evil, and so it makes me feel that this is Maleficent's revenge, and that King Stefan brought it upon his own house. So I think that to do that, I could see maybe where they could come from on that. They're like, who knows who the real villain is? But I think that will take away from the strength of the idea of just having a fleshed out villain like Maleficent. I think to create two villains in such a gray area, what kind of message are you sending? That the whole world is evil and you just have to kind of decide where you stand. That's what it's like to be an adult, Aurora. Welcome to the real world. So as I said, I really like what I'm seeing, but I'm having such a hard time getting over the fact that it's doesn't seem to have anything to do with Disney's Sleeping Beauty, which is what I feel I was promised. It was the point of this whole exercise. And that's why I mentioned Once Upon a Dream, because I think that got it right. That was the iconic, beautiful song from Sleeping Beauty. That it's gorgeous already on its own, but with Lana Del Rey singing it, she sang it's the exact same words, the exact same melody, but by twisting it and arranging it a little differently and having the way she sings it, you create this, as many people have said, very tragic, haunting rendition of the song. And that's what I wanted. I wanted a tragic, haunting rendition of the animated Sleeping Beauty, Disney Sleeping Beauty. It's their movie. And instead, I think I'm getting something that, while beautiful and compelling and interesting and bold and new, has nothing to do with it. So I'm curious to how you guys feel. Do you have any problem separating the two? Do you see the correlation? Do you think that I'm just being too much of a stickler for details, and who cares if it doesn't look that much alike and they're taking a lot of liberties with it? And do you think maybe you would enjoy this more if it was a standalone film and had nothing to do with Disney's Sleeping Beauty, the animated version? Write your thoughts down below. Thank you for asking for my trailer review. I really appreciate it. I got a particular number of requests for this. It means a lot, and I hope that even if you don't agree with what I said, that it makes you think about the film a little bit more. All right, thank you so much. You can check out some more episodes right now.